Like the proverbial phoenix that rose from the ashes, the Kenya Association of Travel Agencies Kata rose from the remains of its predecessor, the East African Society of Travel Agents, EASTA. Through the stewardship of the founding chairman, late Bob Simpson, who contributed to the industry worldwide immensely, Bob served as our chairman from 1979 to 1985 when he passed on.
And Kenya, Tanzania, Uganda, each country had its own executive officer who was looking after their particular problems, if they had any. Bob Simpson is somebody who must be remembered when we're talking about Kata, because he was our founder chairman. So he gave us many, many years of his service. He was also a big supporter of UFTA, and if it hadn't been for him, I don't think Kata would have got as strong as it did through its various international connections that we had and his enthusiasm.
Our founding chairman strongly observed and articulated the need for an internationally recognized travel agents training. His proposal was adopted by UFTA and IATA.
His big contribution to the travel industry worldwide is really Mr. Bob's IATA UFTA training.
Marian Slade took over from Bob Simpson and served for 5 years. In 1988, Philip Kamore, who had started out as a trainee in Marian's office, rose to become the manager of Express Travel and the first African chairman of Kata.
He was a very fine young man, and eventually he did very well, and he was the most suitable person to take over as chairman after I did.
And the beautiful 4-decade story of bringing the travel industry together to federate on issues pertinent continues.
And we are among the first non-white travel agents to enter the market. And over the years, we not only grew, but we saw a huge change in the travel. Just to tell you that during that time, 95% of the trade was controlled by the Europeans.
This amazing story of commitment, professionalism, and support of the travel industry has navigated through many nostalgic moments, even some disruptive episodes.
Until 1984, all the reservations and airline communication was on the telephone, making reservations, issuing manual tickets. And the first change in technology came in 1984 when British Airways introduced the first computer.
When we came to switch over on the thing, we suddenly were going to have, we had all our computers and we were told what we had to do, but we were having to do this with Atlanta. And the time in Atlanta, to suit the time in Atlanta, we had to be in our offices between 1 and 3 o'clock in the morning. My office was in Koinange Street. You can imagine it was quite an interesting street to be in. But anyway, we waited, and at 1 o'clock or so, seated men came dashing round and they pressed the various buttons and bingo, we were connected.
And true to its mission of championing and sustaining growth of the travel industry, Kata has over the years stood up for its members when it mattered most.
Well, I think that was about 18 years ago, and when the airlines started, I think largely in America, saying that they were going to do away with commissions, and then it came to Europe, and then it came to Kenya. Kenya Airways suddenly said they were going to take us from 9%. We were getting 9% on an international air ticket, and so a number of us all decided to take on a big brother, if I can say.
And then later on, when VAT was being introduced into for travel services, we fought gallantly and won that war.
4 years, default insurance that secures IATA's interest was dominated by one player, which was rather monopolistic and gave our members no alternative. Kata decided to take the issue head-on.
And we felt it was not fair. We're not given options on where we can buy that DIP scheme from, other than the company that had been determined for us by IATA. And we pushed that agenda both in court. We reported it to Competition Authority, whereas we didn't get any success, but we were able, because of that pressure, to get the insurance company on the table to now discuss with Kata on how it can be made more affordable, more friendly to the members.
We felt we needed to expand the space to create competition so that we could reduce the cost of DAP insurance. So we were looking at ways to bring down that cost, and of course that cost reduction is passed to the customer.
The transition from a society to a company limited by guarantee means Kata now stands better legally positioned to defend the industry in a more robust manner.
We have indeed made tremendous progress in having unity among each other and not always being competitors in the same field of trade.
I think what is most important to me is the information sharing that we get through the association. There's a lot of information we get, updates, industry happenings, statistics, etc. A place to go to when you're stuck or in trouble or need clarification, guidance.
We're proud that as an association we've stood up and we have stood to be counted when it matters, and when members were expecting us to be able to do that, and we came out victorious, you know.
The acquisition of an ultra-modern office as the home for Kata is a testament to the association's strong commitment to serve the industry for years to come.
I'm very proud, Chair, and the board, that we are here. We are officially opening this place. It's not only a home, it's actually to show stability of your sector. You are not going to be pushed around.
To have delivered Kata into a modern grade A office space at the address, for me, that's a big milestone. I'm also happy about the governance structure that has emerged within the Kata Secretariat. We have enabled the Kata Secretariat to operate independently without interference. Building the Secretariat to a point where I feel it will be able to deliver services to Kata members both now and in future, because of the way we structured it, the way we have strengthened it.
One challenge I also faced is as we are getting to acquire our new office, basically there was quite a lot of planning as to how do we meet this project cost without having to go back to members and ask for money. And we thank God we were able to go through that very well. We were able to fund the project without having to borrow from any bank or having to call members for additional funding.
Hosting the Secretariat of Association of Eastern and Southern African Travel Agents, IASATA, is among the many proud feathers on our cap.
At the umbrella association, you know, UFTA, the United Federation of Travel Agents Associations globally, we actually have a representative that sits there as a vice president in charge of finance at UFTA. And that's a very high profile position that Kata holds on behalf of the continent.
And we all remain grateful that financially, our association remains on a strong footing.
Every coin has strong value. And that value is the financial sustainability that the association needs to grow. And where we stand now, we've been able to sign quite a few number of partnership agreements, which we feel are now giving the Kata as an organization a very strong financial base, which may be able to articulate issues that pertain to the travel trade.
And the future can only be more promising.
So the membership growth has been tremendous. We keep on growing year on year, increasing our membership at least by about 20%. And our target is that by the year 2022, Kata should be covering at least 80% of the entire market, all the travel agencies, both IATA and non-IATA agents that are represented in the association.
They say life begins at 40. And this could not be truer than for Kata. At 40, we give a strong pledge to our more than 170 member travel agencies, 13 corporate partners, our allied members, and the many academic partners. We will continue to represent, defend, influence, empower, and socialize our membership for the growth of the travel industry strongly in the days to come.
Kata has done a very good job of federating a lot of the members, bringing them together so that we can have very interesting conversation about where the industry is growing. Kata is really one of the best in the region at what they do. It's really a beacon in how best to engage the industry and bring value to the industry.
And truly, there are brighter days ahead.
The future looks clear, the value proposition for our members is clear, and the association is firm. Now we are more united than before. So we are seeing 40 united, 40 financially stable, 40 articulating travel trade industry issues, 40 as an association.
I would like to congratulate Kata first of all for the milestone. We've been through a long journey together and this journey continues.
And particularly exciting is to see the opportunities of growing our membership into our regions, the Coast region and the Rift Valley and Western region. I think we are happy with the way we are growing, and we are very optimistic that we'll be able to cover those regions very effectively.
Going forward, I see Kata becoming even much more vibrant, being more active with this new legal entity, and much more flexible to defend without fear of repercussion or intimidation. The board membership we have is also very vibrant, combined with the secretariat of young people. I believe Kata would be able to deliver a lot of value to the members going forward.
Congratulations indeed to all our members, partners and affiliates. We have been able to do the last 40 years together. We shall surely conquer even greater heights together.